Hello, Cancer. Welcome back to Intuitive Insights with Willow. Here is where I always wish you peace and the understanding that life is always happening for you, not to you. So let's see who's coming towards you. Five of Imps, Two of Pumpkins, and Justice. All right. Y'all see how well, you probably didn't, but they flipped out. All right. Okay, so this is a Leo. Major Leo energy. Also, what is that called? Really? Fixed energy. Excuse me. So you have a fire sign, a Leo, or someone that you just cannot get on the same page with. The two of you are always at odds. There's strong, intense energy between the two of you. Some things you are on the same page with, other things you are not, but working together is not a thing. This may be someone you may be hanky-panky with, but not someone that you are building life with. Do you understand what I'm saying? Someone you call on late night, afternoon snack, but not someone that's like your lifeline, not someone that you're yin and yang with. At least that's how it appears to you. Why this individual is coming towards you is Two of Pentacles. They want to bring balance with you. So if we're not talking about love, this is someone that wants to bring a solid foundation between the two of you. When we're looking at the Two of Pentacles, this is Capricorn energy. This is someone that is trying to balance work life and family life. Someone that is trying to gain stability, okay? They need to come to positive terms with you. The intentions for this is the justice. They want to be fair. They want to have synergy with you. You know, you said some things that wasn't right. I said some things that wasn't right. You know, let's call it what it is and build off of it, all right? It's not necessarily giving me, because balance is really important here. Understand when justice comes through, justice is balancing out everything that has happened. Nobody is right and no one is wrong. It's what can you prove? You know, and we look at that as just in the court of law. All right, because we've seen many cases. No shade to the law. I love the law. My favorite movie is actually Devil's Advocate. That is my favorite movie. But when you look at it, you got two people that are wrong. There are some faults on both sides. And the judge comes through to just bring in balance and order. We're going to solve it like this. I hear both of you. This is what I've come up with. And this is how we're going to move forward with this. Drop it and leave it where it's at. So a lot of people like, you're going to get what you did to me. But people don't take accountability. Like even in a friendship, you know, they'd be like, oh, she stabbed me in the back. I can't believe she did that. Yeah, she stabbed you in the back. But what did you do to entice that within her? And I know people think that's shitty when you say that. But think about it. You may have said something that triggered this in them. You may have made them feel like the two of you really weren't friends. You may have made them feel like they were less than. I'll never forget. I had a relationship with a girl. We were friends. Genuine friends from my end. But I'll never forget when she expressed to me, this girl that she was also a good friend with. She wasn't my friend. She was her friend. And I said that like I had a problem. I didn't have a problem with it. I didn't know the lady, you know. But this was her friend, and she said she slept with her man because she perceived that the girl trusted her to be in her house when she wasn't there because she felt that her man wouldn't make a pass at her like she wasn't cute enough. I thought that was crazy. I said, did you ever think that maybe because she trusts you and felt you never do something like that, you always stayed authentic with her? That maybe that's why she did it? It wasn't that she didn't feel like you was attractive and that he wouldn't want you like that. It was just she felt that you wouldn't go for that. I'll never forget, I said that to her and she was like, I never thought about it like that. You know, ironically, she was a Leo. But she was like, I never thought about it like that. I'm like, yeah, but this girl had wounds. You know, we're all women now, but she had, well, that woman was already a woman, but she had deep wounds of abandonment, of rejection, and also being looked at not good enough. Like her childhood wounds was something deep. That shit cut deep. So for her to have a pessimistic outline on things, that's what did it. And she was like that with everybody. She slept with somebody I used to mess with. She was just, that was just who she was. She felt like she had something to prove in the world because she wasn't skinny and she didn't have, like the bomb body. She felt that society just viewed her as like trash, and she wanted all the pretty bitches to know that she could sleep with everybody's man. That was just her, and take that how you want to take it. But I remember looking at that when our friendship fell apart, and I saw that she was like that even to me. I didn't know it at first, but when I realized that, I was hurt by that. But with time and growth, I had the opportunity to reflect, and I triggered her. I hurt her. Me and her both, well, to be honest with you, I didn't like that dude at first. But I had my own wounds too. And when she met his friend, she really liked his friend. So I went with the other dude. I was like, why not? Not knowing that hurted her. I asked her, I was like, would you be bothered? And she told me no. But would she have told me yeah? You know what I mean? And honestly, for me personally, I learned from that. I never did that again. The reason I tell you this story, like with people, again, I never did that again with people. I've also been married now for 15 years. So you do the math. But you never know what you did to enact, to activate that within them. You just don't know. Some things you only know things when people tell you, or if you can like piece certain things together, like really sit down in a calm, unbiased environment within yourself and look at it. So that's what justice is. It's bringing two faults and meshing them together and creating a level ground. For real. So here, the energy here, if this isn't somebody that you have been hanky-panky with, friends with benefits type thing, this could be like a co-worker too, because it's coming up in Wand's energy. The Imp's energy is fire energy. This could be just someone, you two are just always at odds. You may admire certain things in them. They admire certain things with you, but it's like, yo, it's time. We need to like balance this out. Okay? Here's the advice in this, because their intentions is to come to common grounds with you. All right? So let's look at a suggestion, some advice for you, okay? For y'all, for this connection. Because I like to say the advice is both ways. I'm taking a one at the top. My mouth wanted to say the bottom. Why is that? The bottom was King of Imps too, but we took the top. So Four of Pentacles is what we're looking at, all right? Now, when you have the Four of Pentacles, as in your suggestion, always think fours stability, like four legs on a chair, solid ground, okay? Solid foundation. So the advice here is to weigh out the pros and the cons. Let bygones be bygones. Be honest with one another and really think about the overall energy between the two of you. Some people don't understand that when two people have a quarrel, it affects all people that know about it, those who are in the energy, those you may come in contact with, because this is a lot of energy. All right, this damn five is a lot of energy. Fives bring about change. They bring about chaos. You understand? It is the middle of success. And it's the ugly part of success, because now you have to change. You have to modify. And sometimes people don't do that on their own. So you come through with the universe gives you a really ugly push when you're in a five energy. It's very transformative. So this individual, when it comes to the Four of Pentacles, what are you gaining from this, having this quarrel? Or what's going on? If this is a hanky-panky status, it's like, okay, the suggestion is stop slaying that thing, moving that thing, looking all stinking nasty, and decide, do you really want to be with this person? Or do you want to let them go? Because this person is seriously catching feelings, and that's where the tension is coming from between the two of you. They may not have verbalized it, but they feel in some type of way, like you using me like a vibrator you could just pull out your drawer. And really, I view you as a queen, so what you really want. Or king, take it as it resonates, okay? Now, let's look at your outcome. Oh, death. Why death? High priestess is at the bottom too. It shows me inconclusive. We'll get back to that in a second. We have Eight of Pentacles, High Priestess again. And the Queen of Wands. Nine of Cups is at the bottom. So look here. The outcome is, no matter what this conversation is going to be, what it bring about, it's going to bring massive change, impactful change between you and that person. You understand? So if it ain't somebody you duked it out with, you might duke it out with them. However it is, whatever this tension, whatever situation you got going on, work, romantic, platonic, family, whatever it is, during the conclusion of this, you and the person are not going to be the same. It will not be what it was before. But it doesn't have to be worse nor better. It's not telling me that, but it's telling me that it won't be what it was beforehand. Okay? Nothing ever is when you have a fight. So you have Eight of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and the Queen of Wands. Intuition is a big thing here. You have to, it's illuminating. You have to look beyond the surface. You need to dig deep here. It also, see here we have the Queen of Wands. So she could be illuminating, taking accountability. She could be illuminating one's, I'm so pretty, I don't have to do anything, I get what I want. And one taking advantage of something that someone else is giving. You understand? When I look at these two together, the Queen of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles, especially on top of death, and High Priestess ain't helping, but on top of death, it's telling me this is a person that needs to put forth effort. You cannot just stand there and be cute and expect to reap the benefits of everyone else's hard work. You must do something, contribute something in that. Do you understand? So manipulation could be involved here. Things are going to change. It's not going to be one-sided anymore because it's giving me that kind of energy. Someone is putting more in than the other, and the other one is feeling entitled to that. It's like, I didn't ask you to do that. You did it because you wanted to. Yeah, but you benefit from it. And you ain't showing me appreciation for my effort. That's what it's given, okay? Now, when we look at our advice or overall for a reading with the High Priestess, these are emotions. The tension is coming from something that is stemming underlying. It's under the surface. This isn't things that's coming out. You might feel like one person just acting funny, or the communication between the two of you isn't the same. There's been a change, and you can feel the change, but you haven't been able to pinpoint that change because that change has not been verbalized, whether it's from you or from your person. So the outcome of this, whether it's going to be good or bad, I can't tell you that based on the cards and the story that it has laid out for us. And I can't tell you exactly what it's going to be because you got High Priestess here twice. It's telling me shit's in the wind. All right. I will say definitely High Priestess does highlight feminine energy. So kind of be more nurturing. Open your ears and your eyes and be more observant of what is going on. Not necessarily the energy that's being pushed out or delivered. Look at the underlying. Things could be more in depth. Like the story I just shared with you. She didn't walk around showing all her scars. You only knew if you were close to her and her friend and you knew her family story. You know, you were friends with her. You knew what it was with her. Other than that, you wouldn't know that. You wouldn't predict it. Like a lot of her janky ways, when people caught on to how she was, that bitch moved states. I remember saying, I said, you know what? She's smart. I remember thinking that. She's a Leo. She did shit. And when shit hit the fan, she went and she saw it coming. I don't know how she saw it. She could have went to the side, but she saw it coming and she moved. She ended up moving states. It just, or life could have just played out like that for her, which is good because she was moving in very low vibrational energy. So does that necessarily define who she is, the way that she acted? Yes, it does show at that time of her life. But we get older, we reflect, we realize the things that we did. And, you know, you grow from it. That's the only thing you can do. You can't erase the past, but you can build off of it. You know what I mean? So here, these are situations that's under the surface. It's not being said, and I can say it's not being said because we also have the 5 of bats here. Communication is a big thing here. One trying to put on a solid front and like they're being in control of the situation, but it's really out of control. So somebody could be saying, yeah, I'm with it, I like this, but it's tearing them up in the inside. And that's causing little rifts, okay? All right, Leo, that is what I got for you. Did I say Leo? Oh my God, I meant Cancer. Cancer, but this card is Leo. So anyways, all right, Cancer, that is what I got for you. I do appreciate your time and your attention. I want you to know it does mean the world to me. Understand that we cannot always control the things that happen externally in our life, but we can 100% control the way that we respond to it. So do well to set boundaries and fiercely enforce them. Boundaries are for you. They are not for people. They set the tone with how people are required to treat you. Also, move with integrity. As long as you move with integrity, honey. Nothing that you do, no matter how the chips fall or fly, it will be well with you in your spirit because you always did what was right based on your integrity. Do you understand? Remember to always love, even if you're not receiving the love that you know you deserve. Still, do not allow people's pain, attitude, negativity to change the foundation, the essence of who you are. Stick to that. Always be who you are. Do not allow people to change you or modify who you are because they can't handle your energy. You be you. And when you're ready to change and you realize a change is needed, you do those modifications on your terms. You understand? All right. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.